The only way I market really is DealMachine. I cold call as well, but that's how I found all the properties, just using DealMachine, driving for dollars. Again, this is just my opinion, me speaking, but I believe why search in a big pond where everyone's in a sea where everyone's fishing in, instead of just going in a pond where there's no one fishing. And that's why I just go and find these properties where, again, it's not online, it's not on some list that someone's called, that 5 or 10 investors are calling.
It's so good to see you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you so much for being so flexible with everything. I'm just excited we actually get to do this, and I get to hear all about your story.
Likewise. I know with everything going on, it's been a hassle. So, it's no worries.
Oh my gosh. Well, so jumping right in, like, where are you located?
In Maryland.
Oh, nice. Are you near the Baltimore area? What part?
More so Prince George's County. So maybe close to Virginia, maybe like 10 minutes from Virginia, 10 minutes from DC area.
Okay.
Right in the middle of everything.
Is that the area you're focused on right now?
Yes.
Awesome.
Northern Virginia, as well as Prince George's County, Maryland. Yes.
That's so cool. So tell me how your REI journey started. How'd you get into it, and what led you to DealMachine?
Well, actually, what led me to DealMachine was I got in touch with a gentleman who's, I would say, my mentor now. I wanted to get out of working a 9 to 5 every day, and just having several conversations with him, he basically fed me breadcrumbs on what he was doing and how he was doing real estate investing, and he allowed me to work with him for about over a year, for over a year, and it was amazing. It was amazing just to learn that there's something else out here, something that's unconventional, that you're able to, build wealth. Yeah.
Yeah. And so were you just like, what kind of things was he having you do to like get into this?
So he took me through everything, meaning making appointments, cold calling, us doing learning sessions. Like, are you familiar with TTP?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So yes, I went through the TTP training with him as well. Like I said, everything with the process, whether it's driving for dollars, we met every Sunday afternoon and would just talk for hours and hours and hours. And I wasn't getting paid for any of this. I had a job at the time, but I wasn't getting paid for any of this. But knowledge over cash, some little cash here and there. So I enjoyed. I'm very thankful and grateful that he gave me the opportunity just to give me all that knowledge freely. So I'm hoping that I can do the same thing in return.
Oh, I love that. And so where did you meet him? How did you connect with this gentleman?
So believe it or not, he was my supervisor when I worked at a landscaping company, and we built a relationship there. And he just told me that I was different than the majority of the employees there, just because I don't know, I was 22 and working 2 full-time jobs, and I just wanted to do more in life. I wasn't accepting just the bare minimum. Reading books, bringing books to work, and just things that I probably just stood out from just doing, things that's out of the ordinary. But we just built a relationship, and it built to him give me information about what he did outside of his workplace.
That's so amazing. You sound like you have the entrepreneur spirit of just constant learning and getting value from things. So
right.
That's amazing. And do you mind me asking how old you are then? That was at 22?
24, ma'am.
24. Holy cow. You are like plowing through life. That's amazing. So tell me about this deal. Tell me from start to finish, how did it transpire?
Okay. So believe it or not, this deal wasn't a wholesale deal. I actually JV'd it with a realtor just due to the complexity of the deal. The homeowner was facing foreclosure, had very little equity. He wife passed away, wasn't working for a long period of time. So I was trying to see what I can do with this, maybe possibly a subject to someone purchasing it that way. And that didn't really, that wouldn't have been the best outcome for me and a homeowner. It could have worked. However, again, we're in this business to help people.
True that.
Right. So I tagged along with a realtor, explained her situation, and basically ended up getting the homeowner um, or somewhere around like $50,000 a day at the end of closing.
Oh my
So
God.
right. And when I say he hasn't paid his mortgage in, I think, was it 3 years? It was yes. It
Oh,
was something,
wow.
yes, it was something crazy like 3 years. So he was, yeah, I don't know why the bank even allowed that to go on like that, but um it was just a blessing to be able to help him out in that process.
That's,
And, I'm
I
sorry.
was about to say, no, no, that is amazing that and I love that you said that because it's, helping people and you could have done something totally different and he could have not. He could have made a lot less than that.
Right.
That's
And
amazing.
right. And believe it or not, it kind of just, so you said, how did I come to it? Believe it or not, it just fell into my hands. Again, a blessing in disguise. Just actually, I was just in the barbershop getting my hair cut, and just having conversations, and trying to just having conversations, and then the gentleman tells me, oh, I have a realtor, and I'm having issues with the realtor, him putting my house on MLS, and I'm thinking it's for too high. So I said, you know what, I'll help you. I'll look at it for you. So I went to look at the property. I went to look at the property. It was in good condition, but not the best condition. And when I look at the property right next to it, a lot of similarities, beds, baths. Basically, it was same compared to apples. And the house was, I believe it sold for 415, maybe 3 months ago, $415,000.
Holy crap.
And the realtor was trying to sell this specific home, the homeowner's home I was helping for, I believe it was 475, which didn't make any sense because, again, comparing apples to apples, we see that the ARV is 415 for this property, and it was in the best condition it can be in. Stainless steel appliances, renovated kitchen, renovated bathrooms, everything was renovated, compared to this gentleman's house where it was in good condition, but then again, nowhere near this one. So the realtor, I feel like he didn't have his best interest at heart. So I explained to him what happened. My opinion, I told him I'm not a lawyer. I'm not I'm not a realtor. But from the looks of it, it looks like, again, the realtor doesn't have your best interest at heart. And we were able to help him get out of the contract with that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's always can be a very sticky thing.
Yes.
So how did you get out of the contract with that realtor? Was the time just up?
No, the time was nowhere near up. So I believe he just signed the contract maybe about like 2 weeks ago, maybe like 2 weeks. But what the contract stated was like he had a certain amount of period to get out the contract.
Oh, okay.
So we made it just in time. So yeah, everything just fell in line, believe it or not.
So how did DealMachine play into with this?
Well, I would say for this property, not as much with this one, but my other deals, DealMachine has been amazing. Do you want me to get into that, or do you want me to stay particularly on this deal?
Go. Tell me all the tell me all the things.
So believe it or not, again, the only way I market really is DealMachine. I cold call as well, but that's how I found all the properties, just using DealMachine, driving for dollars. Again, this is just my opinion, me speaking, but I believe, why search in a big pond where everyone's, well, in a sea where everyone's fishing in, instead of just going in a pond where there's no one fishing. That's why I just go and find these properties where, again, it's not online, it's not on some list that someone's called, that 5 or 10 investors are calling. So I drive for dollars in areas where buyers are buying. I go on hot zip code. I look for hot zip codes. I go in these areas, and believe it or not, there was a property in Waldorf, Maryland. I'm not too sure if you're familiar with the area. Nice family area. However, driving in that area, I noticed a home, distressed. I think the trash cans were full. It looked like no one was living in a while. Wasn't that bad on the outside, but you can tell it hasn't been lived in.
It wasn't the greatest on the block.
Correct. Correct. I send them a mailer, and believe it or not, I got a call within 2 weeks.
Wow.
And I was surprised because typically in my experience, it was a short experience. I didn't even say that. I started my business in July. I didn't even say that. And I've had 3 deals so far. Yeah. But I'm going back to what I was saying. I got a call within 2 weeks. The homeowner never heard anything about real estate investing, nothing about it, but she's willing to give it a try. And we was able to get her home sold for, I believe it was 218.5. So they walked away with somewhere about, let's say, approximately $90,000.
Wow.
And yes, and that was done in, again, 30 days, as we say. So DealMachine has been amazing for me. It's definitely changed my life. And hopefully, again, I can just spread the knowledge, to everybody to know that, there's another method out here for you all to build some wealth.
I love that. Do you know how much you've made with using DealMachine, those deals?
Oh, with DealMachine, I've made 15,000, 2 deals, 15,000. But then again, I think I'm working on something else right now, in Alexandria, which in Alexandria versus Maryland, the houses are worth much more, so it's a bigger spread. So I'm thinking that this could be that deal that could get me out of working. Period. Don't want to jinx it yet.
You might be able to put that 2 weeks in here soon. Then the 4, at least. Well, I'm in the Midwest, so like our spreads are smaller, but like when you said that house was like 415 or whatever selling, that's a pricey thing over here. At least, is that like mid-range for you guys over there, or is that pretty high up there as well?
That's pretty high. But so where I live, again, in the Maryland area, well, Prince George's County, you would see average about 250,000, that ballpark, to 350,000, somewhere in that ballpark. Even townhomes, believe it or not, townhomes are like $250,000, believe it or not, in Prince George's County. But it's a nice area. So.
Yeah, well, I would think so. Good Lord. I'm also from small town Indiana, so like I'm just like coming to metro areas, and we have so many people in like the Maryland area, and that's why I asked if you're near Baltimore, because everyone says like, oh, it's so competitive. But I love that you said, like, instead of going to the ocean, go to the ponds that are not. So how do you, just for like I'm just thinking of all the questions people usually ask of, how you said you find like the hottest zip codes. How do you go about finding or strategizing where you're going to drive?
So there's actually, believe it or not, there's a website that I cannot think of the website right now. Oh man, I'm sorry, I apologize. But there's a website I go to where I pull a list. I pull a list where buyers have purchased properties since March of this year. I know Brent Daniels talks about it. I know he does.
That's okay. If you remember it, I'll put it in the description in the YouTube video so people can check it out. But that kind of blows my mind, because it's like, instead of pulling a list of properties, you're pulling a list of buyers, so you know that area, and then you create your own special list on top of that. I love that strategy. Right.
And it's more so, again, why go to, you want to make the most of your time. So why go to a zip code where, people aren't buying homes? So I go to zip codes where, I don't know, 15 buyers are buying within the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 months. So I know I won't have any issues, getting that deal off of me. So that's what I do. I go in those zip codes, I drive for, a few hours, and I just try to build up that prospect list as much as I can.
For people who are working 9 to 5 jobs right now, how do you designate time to drive?
So I'm fortunate where I work 7 days on and 7 days off. So I have lots of time to designate toward my business. But however, even if I didn't do that, hour, 2 hours here or there, you have weekends as well. You have time off. We all have time to do what we need to do. It's just about, again, time management. But they're able to do it, I would think. Even on a lunch break, maybe take a 30 minutes and drive in an area. So it's several ways to do it. And some, believe it or not, I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's some jobs where you are driving.
Oh no, people do drive. Ahead. So. that is so smart. If you're driving, I did sales, drove everywhere. Like
Mm,
you have the time. You can just,
right.
you see a house, you just pull over and just pin it. You don't even have to pull over, honestly. I usually now just pin it, and you should still have take a picture of the house, but if I'm in a hurry, I just go and do that. And that leads me into, what is your cadence of I know you said you send out postcards. Do you like send one out and then call? Like how do you, or how many postcards do you send out? What's your cadence of follow-up?
So I send out 5 postcards every 28 days,
Okay.
um, just to keep my budget down. At first I was doing 3 postcards every 21 days, and I saw that the campaigns would be so short,
Yeah.
and I didn't like that. I wanted to spread it out more, so I got it to 5 postcards every 28 days, and then what I try to do is after I get, I don't know, I say maybe 200 to 250 different mailers, then I'll I'll skip trace that list and then begin to cold call a list,
Got it.
just to keep that drip method and keep planting that seed, so they can
No,
see my company's name. So
no, I love that. And I also did the same thing. I put it to 30 days because I was like, well, I need to make sure we budget direct, because 21 was just like, it lands so weird of a spot sometimes with months.
right.
So I love that. And is there any specific template you use that you prefer over others, or do you put your logo on it?
Yeah, so actually I do put my logo on it. I do want to get to the point where I um, get a picture of myself on it. That's just one thing I have to get on there, get my own picture on there so they can see that face. Um, you said certain templates, so I'm sure absentee owners. I use the absentee owner list, absentee owner postcard,
Mhm.
as well as I like I believe it's postcard number 4. I'm not sure exactly how I can explain that, but it has the picture on one side, and the other side it has,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I love those. They just look so modern and very clean that
Yeah.
it comes off really professional, and has oh my gosh, I just had another question. Crap, I always forget these. This is just a conversation. So this is obviously, I'm going to tell my videographer right now to cut this part out because I end up getting all tongue tied.
Right.
Um, but oh, I always want to ask, you just started your business in July. What would you say, like maybe 2 things to someone that's new that you wish you would have known going forward, or like starting out, like because the struggles and everything of getting going in this, and you're still working your 9 to 5.
Mhm.
What's like 2 pieces of advice you would give someone who's starting out?
Hmm. 2 things I would say. Well, one thing I would say is, one, you got to have perseverance. So sometimes what I'll do is, so I haven't had a deal since November, right? So you're like, oh, what's going on? Am I doing something wrong? Like you start maybe to doubt yourself. But no, I just go on, I go on YouTube videos and I watch other investors out there killing it. There's just one gentleman out. I believe he had a conversation with Brent Daniels, and 8 months straight he had no deals, and on his 9th month he made $130,000 in 3 deals. So yeah, just about there going. And he's actually, that's crazy. He's actually in this area in Maryland. He graduated from Maryland
Hey.
University. So right. Hopefully he can see this video and he can give me a shout out. But
Yeah.
just being perseverance, like the more you want in life, the more you're gonna have to sacrifice. So you gotta just go out there and keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. It's not gonna happen in a week or 2, or I mean it might, but for the most of us, it's not gonna happen out there just like in the snap of a finger. So you just gotta go out there and keep pushing
I
and
love
don't let
that.
stuff get down.
Do you what is your do you have like a number of properties you want to have added per month? Is there a goal, or a number you like to stick around?
Well, again, so I don't have a team as of right now. My mentor does have one, but that's something I'm looking to achieve. This year, I have a certain number I would like to hit. And I don't have mind sharing. I like to hit $100,000 this year with
Heck
deals.
yeah.
Yeah, and per month, yeah, a deal per month would be great. 2, 3 deals per month would be great. I don't want to sell myself short. I just got to go out there and again, just keep working, keep pushing, keep getting more properties. And just to piggyback and answer your last question, you said it was two things. I would say the last thing I would tell people is do your research. I feel like in my experience, there's been a lot of investors out there who they maybe watch a YouTube video here or there, and then they just go out there, which is, again, it's no problem. But just make sure you're doing your own research. Because I mean, I get calls sometimes from people who are wholesalers as well, trying to purchase a property from me that I have under contract. And then, I'll stop and tell them, like, I'll stop and explain to them, I'm the wrong guy. And I'll explain to them, whatever they need, and get them my phone number, just give me a call if you ever need any help. And I'll maybe, send them a video or two, or just have a conversation with them, explain exactly the whole process, the business. Cause again, this is not like just a get rich quick scheme. You actually got to go out here and put the time in and the effort in. So yeah.
I love that. And what would be, you said you read books and stuff like that. Is there a book you would recommend people to read? There's probably a couple.
Actually, there's two books in mind I could definitely think about that comes to my mind. One would be Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Love that book.
I hear that, I think, from every real estate investor.
And another one I would say is, believe it or not, is Emotional Intelligence 2.0. Yes. And the reason why I say that is it's so important to have your emotions under control. Believe it or not, there was a study that was done that says people with higher IQs make $29,000 more than people with lower EQs. And, I'm not sure about IQs. I'm not sure if it can go up or down. I don't believe it. I believe it stays about in the same ballpark. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's what it does. And with your EQ though, your EQ can go as high as you can. You just got to, again, it's about putting that practice in, putting that work in, reading, putting that new knowledge in, and getting new knowledge, and just, not being complacent, not getting, yeah. No, I'm sorry. Sometimes I can go on and ramble, but.
Oh no, please. Queen of rambling right here. Don't even. I love that. And I think I've never heard it worded like that, but I love that you said, like, IQ, yeah, generally stays around the same way, but your EQ is like, you can better that. And that's in your control. And I love you saying not staying complacent. I'll tell you right now, our marketing manager is going to use that for an ad or something of like, just don't be complacent. That's just, that is true though. I feel like you get in a rut, and this is all about consistency. And I love that you said, like, you haven't had a deal since November, but that doesn't mean that, I know a lot of people, like you said, that make six figures in like a month, but they were consistent enough that they were able to do that, right. That all of that just pays off. So thank you so much for taking time to share your stories with me and to talk to me, because I know time is very precious and valuable, and I want to send you some DealMachine swag. Would you like a hat or a shirt or a mug?
Could I have the shirt, please?
You most certainly can. I will send you a link, and then you can just go to it, add the shirt, and then it'll comp it out at the end. So, okay. But I'm going to hold it hostage until you send me a headshot or picture. It doesn't have to be like all professional. It can be like one leaning against a, whatever.
It'll be professional. I promise you.
But yeah, send me that. And then any social links that you want, if you want people to connect with you, I'd be more than happy to put those in the description for you, or anything else you would like me to add. I just really appreciate you taking the time to share with me.
No problem, Elise. I'm happy that you gave me the opportunity. And can I say one more thing before we cut it?
Oh yeah, no, go.
Okay. I just say that just, for anybody out here, just go out there and, give it your best effort. Again, I'm only 24 years old. I haven't achieved what I want to achieve yet, but, it's not even just with real estate investing. Go out there and search, for your answer. I believe that for every problem, there's an answer. It's just about you going out there to search and find it. Again, I have goals. My goals is, again, six figures. I have, again, even the six figures, that's just more so for this year. I have huge dreams. Don't allow anybody to tell you, your dream is, you can't do it. because there are several people out here that come from worse and live in worse environments than us, or who don't come from as good, don't grow up as good as we did. So just go out there, keep pushing, keep learning, and I hope that you're able to achieve everything you dream of. So.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm gonna actually, do you mind if I take a picture of this for our Instagram?
That's fine.
This has made my morning, so cheese. Okay. Ty, you can cut this out too. What's your handle on IG?
My business handle?
Whichever one you feel comfortable with me tagging you in.
Service First Home Buyers.
Ooh, I love that.
Yes, I actually was in the military prior to this, so.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you, but it just seems like that was just perfect. That's like service. I want to provide service first. So
I swear, business names are the hardest thing to come up, especially you got them with meaning behind it. And it's like, well, everyone's property is this and blah, blah, blah. And so you have to come up. My boyfriend and I are trying to get my wholesaling thing back up. And I'm like, oh, we got to get up a name. I swear we've been on like names for so long because he says something and I'm like, it has no meaning. It needs meaning behind it.
Right. And Elise, can I ask you a question as well?
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to get this, not more so DealMachine, but I guess, is this a podcast or?
Oh, this is like, so we started doing this when it was just David and I in Indy, and he was doing them. But since we've grown so much, I started doing them. So I've been with DealMachine for two years. I was the 5th hire. It's been insane. So I do this like every time. This is open to anyone who's ever gotten a deal with DealMachine. I just want to talk to people because I used to do the chat with everybody. And I was the only support person. And then as we grew, it's just become, this is my way to connect with everyone. Cause that's my passion is
right.
Honestly, everyone asks like, oh, did you get a deal? And I'm like, no, I haven't gotten a deal. It's because real estate investing, honest to Pete, is not my passion. Is, and I know that goes hand in hand with people who are in real estate investing, but mine is like, I want, like you want to make 6 figures this year. I want to talk to you throughout this year and like make sure that we're helping you with our technology as much as we can to get that, because oh my gosh, it makes me cry. Like sometimes when we have members who have told us stories of things who are now some of my closest friends. And that's what I love about this, is that I can go to Maryland or something like that. And I can see people and be like, how are you? How's your family? How's the business? And just this industry does like change lives. And I just love seeing that.
Yes, it certainly does. And again, as you said too, it's so amazing that, build that. One thing I've saw, in this short amount of time is I'm able to make these connections with people who live such a different life than what I'm accustomed to. And it's amazing to see it, to hear it, to know that, this is real. It's not just on television, and that's more so my message I want to get out to everyone, that, you don't have to be a entertainer or sports player to live the life you like to live, 'cause I don't know. I don't want to say any, okay. This is just my opinion. I want to say, I feel as when you're, working a 9 to 5 is like modern day slavery. And again, the reason why I say that is I feel like they feed us breadcrumbs. They feed us just enough for us to feel comfortable, but we're never going to be able to build wealth. Typically, I mean, not say never. The most of the time, you're not being able to build wealth simply just with that 9 to 5. And again, everybody doesn't want to live that way, which is fine. If you're fine, we all have different definitions of success. But I just feel like, there's so many ways out here to build wealth. Again, not just real estate investing. But this opens that your awareness to that, again, there's something else out here. You just got to search and find it. We all have time too, because we all go on YouTube. We all have social media links. We all have hobbies that we do. It's just about, again, what are you doing with your time? So
I just like, dude, you're gonna have, and I hope I can call you dude. I'm so sorry, but we're on
It's
this,
fine. You're
we're on
fine. You're
this
fine.
level.
Trust me.
But I can see you literally having like a course or your own podcast or something like that, to where, I mean, heck, if you would have told me at 24 I was doing this, that is not, and that was only 5 years ago, I would have been like, no, I'm not. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. Telling me I'm doing tutorials on YouTube, I would have been like, no, I was studying fashion. So like,
Mm,
this is totally different than what my degree is in. And I
right.
think you like you inspire me. I wish I was as smart as you are right now at 24.
Nah. Nah.
It just shows that, like you said, it's the emotional intelligence, and it's not even about age. Like you, I've seen freaking these two brothers in Tennessee are like barely 20 and they're killing it.
Mm,
I'm like, how
mm,
good Lord, I wish I had the perseverance that you guys have at that
right.
age. Because
Right.
you're gonna blow it up. And I think, is one of your goals to be like a coach or something?
So the reason why I asked you how long did it take you to build, I guess, your following is more so. So I just started my business YouTube page, and I just want to show everybody the ins and outs of this business, show them my story basically, and show them that, again, that they can do it. It's not something it's not impossible. It's very possible. I'm the average guy just like anybody else. I just take the initiative to do more, put that work and put that effort in.
You definitely bring a lot of value in the fact, well, just period. But I definitely share about how you figure out where to drive. That's a huge thing people look for, and designating. And you're showing them that you're doing this while you're working 9 to 5. Yes, your schedule's different, but you're still working a full-time job and doing this.
Right.
So that in itself resonates with a ton of people.
Mm. So I'll say this, Elise. The 7 on 7 off schedule just started maybe a month ago. So
Oh,
beforehand, I wasn't working. I didn't have this luxury. I would get off at 5 o'clock. But what I would do on weekends, Saturday and Sunday, at 9 or 10 in the morning, I'm out driving. For 2-3 hours, just trying to bring in as much leads as I can. And again, when I told you I was working under my mentor for about a year, I wasn't getting paid anything. So at that time, driving and just learning, though, it was great because I learned so much under him. I went on appointments with him. He allowed me to speak sometimes, because that was what made me nervous more so, was speaking to the homeowner, the one-on-one conversations. But again, it's just going out there and putting yourself in those uncomfortable situations, and then you'll start to become comfortable in those situations. So I began to become comfortable. It's just about practicing, constant repetition. And again, it was a blessing, because again, now I'm not starting from square one. I'm still learning things like creative financing. I'm learning that. I haven't had a creative financing deal, and I'm a little nervous about it, but I'm telling you, this year I want to bring in at least 1 or 2 subject to deals. I'm looking to bring that residual income in. That's why I'm working YouTube as well now. I'm trying to get it coming in so I can, again, leave the job and just take this on full time.
Do it. And I definitely, I'll connect you with my man Loopy G, because he does a ton of creative financing.
Okay.
Because do you know Chevy Green?
I haven't heard of him.
He works with Brian sometimes, Brian and Byron. And so he's really good, and he's closer to you. He's on the East Coast. So, but there's a lot of great guys that do a ton of creative financing. You're right. It is a beast of a thing to like, and intimidating for how many different things you can do. And actually Loopy came on a live with me just to talk about subject to because I was like, I don't, what do you do? How do you get started? And so I'll definitely connect you with him too, because he's just a wealth of knowledge. And then you can have someplace in Houston too you can go to eventually when everything calms down.
Right. And believe it or not, I've been to Houston before, but I already have a list for creative financing. I know how to do it more so, but I got to go out there and just do it. I'm a little uncomfortable with having that conversation with the homeowner.
Gotta just dive in, right?
Yeah.
Email me any questions you have, and we can always set up another call too, because I want to keep in touch. But I'll send you all of these. And if you could send me a headshot, I'd appreciate it.
We'll do it.
Just
Okay.
send that to me. I'll send you also to get some swag too.
Okay, I appreciate that, Elise.
All right. It was such a pleasure. We'll talk soon, okay?
Likewise.
All right. Bye.